Satya Dharma Reflection on 24th February 2022. Retreat from the disregarding a lot more. Disregarding in the way of being in the stillness and indifference that is not yet truly disregarding. There is still dwelling, attempting to dwell. Retreat from the disregarding instantly. That is uninvolved with the disregarding itself. Retreat from the disregarding instantly. That is not grasping the disregarding, which is like discreetly dwelling, so that it will be always unlimited and brightening. Disregarding in the way of being in the stillness, indifferent, that is discreetly. The samutaya is discreet, not yet giving up totally and completely, is still a path. Retreat from the mind instantly. Retreat from the disregarding instantly is not about grasping the mind or the disregarding. No grasping, even the non-grasping itself, is already been concluded. The conclusion is not yet concluded into itself. That's only by one's own way. Maintaining, attempting to dwell, to fixate, that is in one's own way. Let's make a conclusion that purifies itself well with it. Let's not just be limited to disregarding only. It's not about grasping the non-attachment, uninvolved with it. Retreat from the disregarding completely. Release from the disregarding, abandon the disregarding, abandon from the releasing itself. With this, the blessing will be automatic, universal blessing. The mighty force of the blessing will be universal, naturally. Being obsessed with the front, the back, left and right, being specific is not universal. To be universal is coverage everything simultaneously. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, will be total coverage, not being specific to the front, to the back, left or right. That is the blessing that is universal to the physical world and samsara. Let's not be stuck with just disregarding in the way of being still and indifferent, or thinking that is in the extinction. Otherwise, it's going to be dropping right there on and on. Uninvolved with the disregarding. It has nothing to do with arising or ceasing naturally. In the way of disregarding, uninvolved with the disregarding, no grasping the disregarding, unattached with the non-attachment, with the eyes and ears that are opening. In a way of blessing, it is already a medium of the blessing. So let's keep them open without restrain them. Otherwise, it's like entrapping. Entrapping is like covering them. They will not be brightening. They will be maintained entrapped. How can there be the brightness? This is also covering the blessing, being obsessed with restraining within one's own delusion and delusive attachment. Don't cover eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind, so that it will not be blocked, the blessing towards the physical world and samsara. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. Uninvolved even the disregarding itself. Disregarding doesn't grasp itself. If there is no delusive attachment that control this, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind will be brightening simultaneously. That is the bright, mighty force of the blessing that is simultaneous, covering all directions automatically, not to be specific with certain directions or certain things. That which has no limitations but is being blocked according to the desire, the samuttai of certain minds. There's only just responding and proposing, presenting. So don't be limited to certain extent. Uninvolved with disregarding is beyond loving kindness or hatred. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, beyond clinging, beyond bondage, beyond familiarity. Uninvolved with the disregarding is deliberate cut through for all types of bondage within aggregate body, mind, and Dharma. All the clinging within mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, spiritual insights, or wisdoms, or any types of Dharma, whether it is equanimity, loving kindness, all the clinging and bondage within all these things, just use uninvolved with the disregarding, uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. It will cut through deliberately for all this clinging, all the delusion, all the assumed realm of existence. Is because of the fixation within the concoction, within the assumed of things. Therefore, it becomes samsara of whirlpool that circling within itself, cut through the cutting itself. Then it will be deliberate cut through the origins of samsara itself. Begin with all the assumed up and the senses and sense perceptions. It will deliberately cut through for all of this totally. uninvolved with the disregarding itself, uninvolved with the non-attachment itself, uninvolved, disregard, even the disregard itself, uninvolved with the disregard itself. This is total cut through deliberately. All the attempt to dwell, to fixate within body, mind, aggregate all things and all elements, all dharma, all things. It will purify all the delusion to dwell, to fixate. That is purification towards realms of existence. All the tiny bit of dwelling within the mind, that is creating of realms of existence, creating of cycle of becoming. Retreat from the disregarding completely. Don't be stuck with just attachment or detachment. Uninvolved with the disregarding constantly. Completely uninvolved with the disregarding, so that it will be deliberate cut through from the attempt to dwell within the body, mind, and Dharma. And the Anupap or the mighty force will be reached to all things and all elements at large. Within the samsara at large, automatically it will turn into automatic purification of extinction and emptiness. All the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind that are already as a medium. They are not just vehicles of the karmic difficulties towards samsara. Don't let them become like vehicles to lead karmic difficulties towards samsara, or characteristic traits and habits towards samsara. Disregard, even from the disregard itself. Let it be the medium of the purification of extinction and emptiness for samsara onwards. Constantly, deliberate cut through, not in a way of sightseeing, coming and going here and there within the mind, using the mind, coming here and there within emotions, within Dharma, within feelings. Retreat from the disregarding completely. Don't be stuck with just disregarding in a way of being in the stillness and indifference. That is not gonna survive from one's own mind. Let's be deliberate, cut through from the equanimity itself. This is all about realm of existence. Disregard, abandon itself, uninvolved with the disregarding itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Uninvolved with the disregard. It's not about grasping the mind or the disregarding. Therefore, it's not about attempting to attach or detach. It's not about grasping for the non-attachment. It's not about grasping, no grasping, even the non-grasping itself. With this, it will be completely giving up, renouncing from the delusive attachment completely, unwinding, discards the unwinding itself. uninvolved with the disregarding all at once. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, unwinding discards itself, blossoming discards itself. The detachment doesn't grasp itself. No grasping even the non-grasping itself. This is gonna be the blessing in all directions, automatically purifying through the emptiness. Not to be specific to create exhaustion in blessing. Being stuck with just restraining, controlling the aggregate body-mind, being stuck with just being specific with seeing and knowing, that's not universal blessing. Being deluded to be specific with knowing and seeing. Uninvolved with the disregarding all at once, then there will be no regrets, the seeing, the knowing. May everything be forgiven. Ahosi, ahosi, ahosi.